First off, great win for George. Hey, how about Lee? Yeah, Lee from the ACC office. Everyone know Lee back there, and his dad, who I love, his father, Mr. Butler. Yep, Lee's with the ACC office. Him and Paul Brazo handle the whole ACC. Obviously, commissioner handles it all, but Lee's with the basketball, and we appreciate you and love you, Lee. And Mr. Butler, good to see you. You know you're my favorite. So happy Thanksgiving to you guys. So anyway, great win. Let me first of all, I think Georgia Southern's a really good basketball team. I think they're very well coached. I think Coach Berg does a great job. Obviously, he's been around some great coaches, most recently with Coach Beard. But I think his team plays so hard. They run good stuff. I mean, they crash the glass. And I told him and his staff before the game that if we're fortunate enough to win this game, I said this is going to be a good win for our program. I mean, it'd be a good win because they're a good basketball team. They play hard and they've got good players. So that was a good win for Georgia Tech. Georgia Southern's going to win a lot of games in conference. I think they're a really good basketball team. And I'm really proud of our young men. We had to, gut that win out. I mean, we've been just hit with the flu terrible this week. And it's just run through our team. Tuesday, we had to cancel practice because we didn't have enough guys. Wednesday, we had 5 guys to be able to at least shoot and lift. But that's all we had eligible or healthy to play. And then yesterday, we showed up and we had 10 total guys, which include Coleman Boyd. And we just did a shooting. That's all we did. So our only way to prepare for this game was through film. And then this morning, we had 6 or 7 guys out. And then before the game, I was planning on Michael DeVoe to play, and then he got sick again right before the game while I was doing my pregame radio with Andy Dementure. Literally, he was walking in and he looked like something happened. He was fine at breakfast this morning, and he was walking in. I saw Coach Schwartz behind him, and I was like, and while I was doing radio, and he was like shaking his head, no, Coach Schwartz. And I told Andy right there, I said, I guess Michael DeVoe's not playing. So I had no idea that he wasn't going to play because I thought he was going to play. And then he says, Coach, I'm sick again. And then I said, do you want to play? I said, I need to know by 10-minute mark whether to put you in the starting lineup or not. He says, Coach, I'm lightheaded. So anyway, make a long story short, we kept him in the locker room, told him to lay down. And then he came back, that's in the end of that first half, middle of that first half, and he says, Coach, I want to give it a go. And I didn't take him out since. And he played all 30 minutes. And, man, he was good. But every one of our guys deserve a lot of credit because they had to gut it out. Because, look, when you're sick, it stinks. I mean, and I've said this. I say this to everybody, and I said it on Monday. If you have your health, you are a true billionaire. I don't care how much money you have in the world. I understand, man, nothing's more important than your health. There's nothing more important. And that includes a cold, a sinus infection, the flu. Doesn't matter what it is. There's just you never want to take your health for granted, even as minor as some things are. By the way, Steak, good to see you. Saw you at the game. Yep, you've been missing for a while, so I'm glad you're here. Yep, good to see you. Saw you. You were walking today. Yep, you were walking your dog. Saw you walk in the park. And I got to give a lot of credit to Io over there. Io, before the game, I had to get a couple things off my chest because I love Io. He's my guy. And you know what? He just let me get off my chest. I'm telling you, he just said, I got you. And I was able to have a clear head coaching because I was frustrated. I was like, how did the flu happen to our whole team? And I just wanted to vent to somebody. And God bless Io over there for letting me vent to him. And he's a good man. So I appreciate that, Io. And because I just needed to vent. It's like, how did this happen? The flu, and here's Michael DeVoe. So I just wanted to vent, and I didn't want to have any woe is me. I just wanted to say my 2-second piece, and Io took it. But anyway, really good win. Really proud of our guys. Great defensive stand at the end there, and really just proud of our guys. I mean, it's a great win. That's a good win. And hey, that crowd today on a noon game after Thanksgiving. Got to give the Georgia Tech faithful, man, Yellow Jacket Nation. And I don't think there was a lot of students there. I don't think so. It was just, people coming. Maybe a lot of people are coming for the game tomorrow for the football game, but great crowd by Yellow Jacket Nation, and really, really happy about that. They gave us a great lift. And, we got down 12. We were out of sorts, obviously. We got down 12, and in the second half, we got ourselves back in the flow, and the crowd gave us a great lift. I thought the assistant coaches, because it was even hard for me to scream, and to our defensive assignments, our assistant coaches, my staff did an excellent job. Got to give my staff tons of credit for keeping our guys in check, really helping me and the players to know what's going on, because I was even hard to try to yell, so we got to give the assistants a ton of credit. By the way, Wednesday's game versus Wisconsin, how about Wednesday's game versus Wisconsin? Wow, they won the Maui Invitational. They're good. Not only on that, the game, and you guys should put this, 9:15, we should have a packed house, and we're recognizing the 2021 ACC Tournament Championship banner on that game. So that should be a great atmosphere, should be a fun game, playing Wisconsin. The students should be back. I mean, it's the ACC Big Ten Challenge. In fact, I think we're the last game of the ACC Big Ten Challenge of the whole series of this week at 9:15. So 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. So make sure we're there.
Josh, you've had some good shooters out there, scorers like DeVoe, Usher, Coleman, but the guy that really picked you up to start the second half was Rodney Howard.
Hey, how about Rodney Howard's development? Oh my goodness, you know how good that guy's become? How much better has he gotten from the first game of Miami, Ohio, where he had a heck of a game, to where he is now? How about when last year I couldn't even put him in the game at times. Literally, I couldn't put him in the game. To where he is now, where it's hard to take him off the floor. I mean, again, his development, got to give, I've prided ourselves in player development. Player development. We might not get the 5-star recruit always, but we've done a 5-star level job in player development in getting guys better, and all of our guys. Obviously, like Eric Reveno's done a great job with Rodney Howard. I mean, look how much better. How about Michael DeVoe? How much better has Michael DeVoe been? I mean, got to give a guy like Anthony Wilkins, and who deals with the guards. I mean, those guys get guys better. My assistant coaches have done it. It is not me. It's the assistant coaches. It's Eric Reveno, Anthony Wilkins, and Julian Schwartz. It's those three guys, and the players get the guys better. And even in my early years, you look at a guy like Tavares Hardy and Darryl LeBerry. They did a great job with player development. So the assistant coaches that I've had here have all been great teachers of the game. Been great teachers of the game, and that's a credit to the assistant coaches and the players, because they're the ones dealing with the player development. But Rodney Howard is just a good player, and I'm so proud of him. And I couldn't take him out of the game.
I think Brown and Bryant had 11 in the first half. They shot like 55%. They had, I think, 5 in the second half. Kind of what was the adjustment? Was that also maybe not being able to practice?
Well, Kelly, I think us getting into the flow of things, we were able to, went back to the lineup because Mike was playing to start the second half. And we held them to 20 points to start the second half, or for the second half, we held them to 20 points. And so that was a good, our defense. And we've been a good defensive team, but we held them to 1 for 9 from 3. And we were fortunate because we did miss some free throws. We did miss free throws today, but we guarded. I tell you, basketball, how funny is basketball? And just the fine line of sports, that's what makes sports such the most incredible reality TV show. The first game of the year, you lose, the ball bounces, and the kid hits the layup, and you're just physically sick. You can't sleep. You don't eat. You're out of it, just based on a shot going in. Today, the kid shoots a shot. It goes off right. We win the game. Now you're able to sleep for the next 2 nights. I mean, just the fine line. I mean, who wants to be a coach? You got to be a little crazy to be a coach. I mean, it's that fine of a line of everything, how your emotional highs and lows man, it's just what a swing on sports. There's nothing like it. It's the greatest reality TV show. So anyway, and by the way, Steak used to get on me about that I would come up with this Josh Okogie line always. I want you to know for about a year and a half now, about a year now, I haven't brought up Josh Okogie. So you'd be proud of me for that. I haven't used it I haven't brought it up for any reason on that. So I love Josh, but I haven't brought it up on our thing. So Moose knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Moose has been on me about it. And if I haven't said, I love Lee. I love Lee back there and his dad. And you make sure you tell Paul I said I love him too. And everybody, yep. So, but Lee's my guy. Lee's just, I've said this. I just think, look, the basketball right now, if you look at around the country, the experience factor because of the additional year of COVID has changed everything. Like people are making a bigger deal about some teams, the mid-majors and the different teams beating power. It's this year. It's the most old college basketball has ever been in 20 some odd years. And a lot of the Power 5 teams lost guys. A lot of the other non-Power 5 kept guys. And so they're just older. And like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, people who are 22, 23 are going to be a lot of times better, regardless if the 18 or 19-year-olds has an NBA more potential, they're going to be in a 40-minute college game, might be better than an 18, 19-year-old. That's just the facts of it. And so that's what you see. And so I say all that to say, I still think that, I know there's been some ups and downs all throughout the Power 5, but when the dust settles, the ACC is going to still be the best conference in all of college basketball.
It seemed like there was a little around the halftime. I'm curious just beyond
No, I didn't yell at the guys. I just went in there. We talked because guys were doing the best they could. We were a little out of sorts and out of sync, and I assumed that was there was a chance that was going to happen. But the adjustments we made were more in the technical aspect, and part of it is we needed to play the right way offensively. I didn't think we were playing the right way offensively the first half. We weren't cutting and moving like we usually do. We were settling for some first side opportunities. And so we were fortunate that we got, we started getting to the second and third side, and that gave us some open opportunities. And then obviously the players made big plays. And towards the end there, which thankfully we won the game, we'll be able to show film and clean up and get better on some late game situation where we just turned it over. And again, Georgia Southern deserves credit. They are the ones who forced us into that. But we as a team's got to get better in that late game opportunities where we left a lot of points on the board on empty possessions. So we have a chance to get better, learn, watch the film, and still get a win from it on late game, just actions that we've got to clean up.
In terms of at the end of the game, 7:28 left, you call timeout. You have fouls to give.
We had one foul to give.
Yeah. What goes into that decision? And they had no timeout, so obviously that
Yeah.
probably played into it too.
Well, a couple things. One is I called time because I wanted us to get set. And a few things. Because Michael missed the first free throw, we had a foul to give, but I was hesitant because, I prefer just to guard. I'm not a big believer, and everyone has their views on it. I'm not a big believer in fouling up 3, and now I know we were up 2, but up 3 and doing that. But this situation was up 2, and just stranger things have happened. You go for the foul and you miss them, and all of a sudden he goes by, and now you're playing 5-on-4, or you get an intentional foul. So I just felt, hey, we just got to guard, and this is what we practice every day is guarding. And so, again, it's a strategy deal, and fortunately it worked itself out. If it didn't work out, you'd probably be asking me the other way, and I would say, hey, I got to look the other way or think the other way on it, but it worked out for us. And Kyle really did a good job defensively and Warren over the screen. But I got us the timeout, and one of the things I said in the timeout is, guys, it's the second shot. So we got to guard the first shot and then rebound. Also, because we changed defenses, we have multiple defenses. I thought in the timeout, we were able to set of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to guard, whether we wanted to go zone, man, on what we wanted to do. And so it worked out. And because it worked out, I can sit here and go to sleep tonight, hopefully, and feel good. And if it didn't work out, goodness gracious, I'd be sick to my stomach asking myself, why didn't I foul? And, just that'd be in my mind for the next 72 hours. But that was just more of a gut. And as you guys know me well enough, I go with my gut a lot of times.
I imagine moving forward, foul shooting is something
Oh, goodness.
you want to improve on, and you left a lot of points there also.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jordan Usher missed a lot of free throws, and I don't know if that was just his, he hadn't been practicing all week, so I don't know if that was just a fatigue. And, Kyle hit five of six, but even Michael DeVoe missed some ones. I mean, I don't know if it was the fatigue factor and just not being around. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just, we got to be better on that. We're fortunate that we were able to win the game and shoot like we shot today. We were very fortunate.
Anything else, Coach? Ken, wrap this up.
That last shot that they took, imagine you're kind of describing like getting those goals, I think it is what that is. And then, I mean, it's actually close.
Well, here, you know what I was thinking, Ken? A couple things. One is when he shot it, I was thinking a little bit like Arkansas. Remember that versus Arkansas where he just does the up and under, and he Asante at that time, Asante Price was guarding him, and he got Asante lifted just by and he threw in the bank three, and I was like, and that ruined my Thanksgiving, and because I remember that vividly. And I can remember the whole trajectory of everything as that was going on. And that was from a 30-footer. Well, this one, they called a three, but when I watched it in the film after the game, I think his foot was on the line like by a centimeter. So they would have had to review it. And it might have been, and we need to talk about that, Moose, because I got to find out and maybe Lee, about the DVR. Like what angle, because we need to check on that, because what angle would the TV have looked at? Because what I was looking at, it might have been close because they were calling the three and the foot it was so close, we needed to have a zoom in angle, because if they made it, they would need to zoom in to see was that a three or a two. So we need to check that. We need to check that, Lee, because we need to make sure we got to make sure that's corrected, that we can have, we'll get on that. But that was how close that was. But I was and boom, and he missed it. And I was like, thank the good Lord he missed the shot. But that's what it is. Ken, at Memphis, I remember they were on me like crazy, the fans, because we hadn't got to the second weekend. And they were on me. We had won a lot of games. And I remember Deladova coming off the screen for St. Mary's, because we hadn't won a tournament game at this point. And they were on me because I was following Calipari. We're in the NCAA tournament. Here's Matthew Deladova off of St. Mary's. We're up 2. He's turning the corner, and the corner turns, and he's shooting the shot. And I'm thinking to myself, probably if he makes this, Memphis saying, see ya, Josh, you're out of here. Like the fans were all on me. He turns, shoots it, air balls, and I'm like, yes. I get a new contract extension. So that's the fine line. That is the fine line of basketball. It's a good coach, bad coach on a make or miss game. So literally that's what I was thinking.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.